Collecting action figures used to be a pretty big hobby of mine. Mainly Batman and Batrogue figures, as you can see, with focus on one specific rogue. But these last few years, I've really lost interest in the hobby. I can't even remember the last time I bought a figure, or what that figure was. I guess these things just happen. You can't keep up your interest in everything forever. And I guess there's also the issue of space. Action figures take up a lot of it. Especially the standard-sized 7-inch action figure, which is what I mainly collected. Despite my current lack of interest though, there are a few figures that, if they were released, I would definitely buy in a heartbeat. And that's what this video is about. 5 action figures I want to see get made, in the standard 6 to 7-inch scale. My original number 5 was going to be Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 7, which features my favorite look of the character. But then I discovered such a figure is actually coming out. So I have been forced to replace Jason with my number 6 choice, which is Jack Nicholson's Joker. Believe it or not, there is no 7-inch collectible action figure of the Joker from Batman '89. There was a smaller figure released back when the movie came out, and there's a larger, high-end, super expensive Hot Toys figure, plus a few other things, but no standard collectible action figure. Isn't that bizarre? Well, the thing is, Jack Nicholson made a deal back in the 80s when he accepted a part that included him getting a cut of any sales of Joker '89 merchandise. Or something like that. I don't really know the details, but bottom line is Nicholson gets a cut of the profits, and toy makers aren't too keen on that. That's why no one's bothered to make a standard-sized Joker '89 figure, and why there isn't much Joker '89 merch in general, despite it being a very iconic and popular version of the character. But damn it, I want a 7-inch Joker '89 figure. It's one of my favorite movie villains, and one of my favorite takes on Joker. He looks great too, which would obviously make for a great figure. There's so many different variations you could do as well. A figure of him with his hat and coat, a figure of him without the hat and coat, the mime getup, and personally I'd love a figure of his look from the mob meeting scene, my favorite scene in the movie. I love that suit and how he looks even creepier with the skin makeup on. I'm not demanding all of these though. I'd be happy with a figure featuring one of his main outfits. I guess that would be the hat and coat. Give him that extendable revolver, the bang gun, the orange walkie-talkie, and a few other things as accessories. Seriously, there's so many accessories you could include with an '89 Joker figure, considering all the toys he uses in the movie. Number 4. The Toyman. A toy of Toyman should be a given, yet there isn't one. Well, that isn't quite true. There are actually 2 7-inch Toyman figures, but they're of the wrong Toyman. They're figures of the second lame Toyman, Jack Nimble, not the original and proper Toyman, Winslow Schott. That's what I want, Winslow. He's the Toyman, not that poser. I guess Nimble is a bit more iconic than non-comic readers though, since he appeared on Super Friends. I assume that's the reason he's been chosen for figures over Winslow. But twice? Come on! Just make a damn Winslow Schott figure. I bet it's driving the guy insane that there's no toy of him. I wanna remember there was even a comic about that, where a line of Superman action figures were being released, and Toyman wasn't part of that lineup, and it made him very mad. Well, it's in real life too, ironically. There's no Toyman figure, still. Which design I specifically want for a Winslow Schott figure is his classic look, the striped blue and purple suit with a bow tie. It's a very eye-catching getup and the look I think of when I think of Toyman. With Toyman there's also endless possibilities for accessories. An evil-looking teddy bear or doll, a toy rifle or gun, toy tanks, tin soldiers, you name it. Toys of toys. It's so obvious. Why hasn't anyone made this yet? Come on, McFarlane Toys, stop making endless Batman and Joker figures and give us a damn Winslow Schott. Number 3. Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face. Yeah, here we are again talking about this terrible take on Harvey Dent. I'm so sorry. I do apologize. I promise not to do it again. I do though, for some bizarre reason, really want a 7-inch collectible figure of Batman Forever's Two-Face. Yeah, I know, there must be something wrong with me. I mean, I don't particularly like the design he sports in the movie. The scarring looks pretty terrible, and the pimp suit is too messy. I assume the pimp suit is what a figure of this character would sport, since it is his main getup. While I prefer his other suits, I seriously doubt that if we were to get a Tommy Lee Dent figure, we'd get any variations. Nobody wants more of this guy, but I'd rather have him in his tuxedo, to be honest. I guess nostalgia plays a part in me wanting a figure of this guy, and it is one of Two-Face's most major appearances, yet we don't have a collectible action figure. All we got is the smaller Kenner figure released back when the movie came out, which I naturally own. It's pretty crappy, and just like the original 1989 Joker figure, far from enough. This guy would also have a ton of accessories, considering he's got so many guns in the movie, plus you gotta give him an alternate head where he makes a goofy face. Do I want a figure of Jim Carrey's Riddler too? Kinda, maybe, but not enough to put on this list. Number 2. Classic comic Two-Face. Of course, we gotta have another Two-Face figure on the list. It wouldn't be Mr. Rogues without an excess of Two-Face. Yeah, so what I'm talking about here is the classic design of Two-Face from the comics. The green scarring and orange and purple suit. It's an iconic look for the character and one of his best. It's even been used in several pieces of media outside the comics, despite the fact he hasn't looked like this in the comics since the 1980s. People still can't let it go. Yet bizarrely enough, there's no proper action figure of it. The closest we've gotten is this figure, but that one was part of a super expensive and by now very rare 5-pack. Getting that one now is pretty impossible, and besides, it's just a repaint of this figure anyway, so it's not really a proper classic Two-Face, since it features a more modern design with the classic colors simply slapped onto it. No, give me a real classic Dent, sculpted to look like he did back in the 70s and 80s, and put him out as a single pack figure. In fact, do an entire line of DC figures featuring the characters sporting their Bronze Age looks. Toyman could be part of this series. As for accessories for this figure, I guess just give him his standard stuff. Twin pistols, maybe a Tommy gun, and some interchangeable hands with coins. It's not that important with this one. Just give me the damn figure. And now, the figure I want the most is the Governor from The Walking Dead. The TV show, not the comics. Yes, this guy. This character is without a doubt my favorite live-action villain. The Walking Dead is, by the way, a zombie comic series that was adapted into a super popular TV show. You probably knew that. I don't know. It's not superheroes. I don't know if you guys know anything beyond superheroes. Anyway, the Governor is pretty much a supervillain regardless. A supervillain in the midst of a zombie apocalypse. And damn it, is he awesome. And deranged. And fascinating. And he's got a cool eye patch too. Anyway, I know what some of you few Walking Dead fans among my audience are saying. But Rogues, there is a Governor figure. There's even 2. Yes, there is. But they're in the smaller scale. They're not 6 to 7 inch figures. I don't like the smaller figures. I've got both of them and they're just not enough. The sculpting and paint on the smaller figures is never really that great. They always look kinda meh compared to the bigger ones. Those smaller figures is all McFarlane Toys used to put out for the Walking Dead line though. But in later years they began to make them in the 7-inch scale too. I know they made a Dwight at least. I don't know if they continued making them however. I mean, The Walking Dead is losing popularity now, with the comics being over and the next season of the show being the last one. People don't really care about The Walking Dead anymore. My point is, a 7-inch Governor figure seems pretty unlikely, especially considering the Governor has been dead since season 4. Spoiler. I doubt they prioritize such an old character. Who knows, maybe in the future when the show's been over for decades and people start getting nostalgic about it, maybe I'll get my Governor figure, when I'm an old man. As for the outfit, I naturally want him in his trademark coat. And as for accessories, he should obviously come with his iconic Steyr AUG rifle and a handgun. Maybe throw in his zombie daughter too. So there you have it, fitting enough for Christmas times. 5 toys this 30-year-old man wants. I mean, I'm not gonna play with them or anything, at least not when people are looking. Let me know down in the comments what figures you'd like to see get made. And as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.